Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Waalaikum
Also, no pictures, please. Thank
Okay.
you. So I'm Samiha from the Tackling Poverty team at Tower Hamlets Council. I won't take too long, but just quickly, thank you to the Council of Mosques for inviting me. But I think it's really important, if you guys know or are aware of the things, the support that's available. There'll be some people in our community who only come to the mosques, for example. They're not like engaging with council or other services just because they're not aware. So it's really important you guys know. So hopefully, if anyone's struggling, because there are lots of people obviously struggling with the cost of living crisis, you'll know what's available. So on to the next slide. So I won't really go into this. I'm sure you all know that this borough has the highest rate of child poverty out of all of the London boroughs, and actually at one point it was the highest in the country too. So so that's why the Tackling Poverty team was formed in the council to try and offer support to residents. So a quick overview. So in our team, we have two sub-teams, the projects team and the outreach team. So the outreach team are a group that will go out into the community. So they'll be in resident hubs, they'll be in idea stores, they'll be in different places where residents can come and speak to them. And I'm in the projects team, so we deal with when we have government funding or when we have pots of money, what can we do, where can we best provide that money, and what support schemes are best is what I deal with. So the first thing you might have heard of is the Household Support Fund, massive funding from the government. So our team deals with that. So over the last year and a half or so, we've been basically strategizing what is the best way to actually provide people with this money. So we have a local council database where we can identify residents that are most in need. So you can see on the slide some of the cohorts we've targeted have been low-income pensioners, disabled households, households eligible for Healthy Start. So we've given direct payments to those groups. We've recently heard the news that the Household Support Fund will be renewed probably for the last time for the next 6 months. So the council is currently formulating plans on who the groups that need the most support are for those payments. Next slide. So one of the big flagship things in our team is the resident support scheme. So I would really urge you to make a note of this or keep this in mind. We'll obviously share slides afterwards. But if there's any resident, for example, that is not covered with the cost of living payment, they don't receive direct payment, they can apply themselves. So anyone that's in the borough that's in a financial crisis or they need immediate help straight away, they can apply for the resident support scheme, and it helps cover, for example, a month's energy bill, or it might help if they need a fridge or a freezer or anything like that. So the link is there. It's towerhamlets.gov.uk/RSS. So that's a really key link. Next slide. And then the cost of living website, I wanted to highlight this as well. So we put, when the government first started giving out Household Support Fund, we put this page together, and I think it's a really key page. If anyone is that you come across a resident who's really struggling, we've got as much support as we can in this hub online. So it's towerhamlets.gov.uk/cost of living. There's obviously not time to go through it now, but a quick summary is, for example, we have advice on saving money, but not just that, whenever we have a new scheme, so if we have the next set of household support fund, who are those direct payments going to, so people know to make sure they're not missing out. We'll have that on there. We have information about social tariffs, so a lot of people don't know if they're on universal credit or if they're on different sets of benefits, they can apply for a cheaper, basically, broadband or phone plan. So we have information on that on the website. And then we have a whole list of food banks in the borough. So this does get updated regularly, because obviously sometimes food banks are charity organizations. So some will close, some will reopen. So we try to keep a live list on there in the help with food section. And then we also have help into employment. So we have a big scheme, the Work Part scheme. They work with us closely as well. So we have all the information on there. And next slide is the resident support outreach team. So this is the second half of our team who go out into the borough. So if anyone is wanting to have a face-to-face appointment or a telephone call, this is another really key link. So I've put the email address on the slide. There's also an online form you can use either. It's a very short form. You just put in your details, because obviously a lot of residents will struggle maybe not having face-to-face support. So it's really important that we have an outreach team. So that's really key. And then another one of our flagship food projects is the pantry program. So some of you might already be aware of this, but essentially, so food banks are when people are in crisis, so they just need food straight away. What we've done here, this is a project we launched about 1.5 years ago. We've established 6 sites where it's not for people who are in crisis, but it's for people who are on low incomes, so they have some money, but it's to support them. So they will pay maybe around like £4 a week, and then they can access a week's worth of food for that money. And it's also really important to us to give people dignity. So food bank, obviously you don't get any choice, you just handed a package, and it's not a nice feeling. And so this is a more humanizing, we're hoping, experience. You go in, you can choose your own supermarket items. There is, because it's a very new project, it's been running for 1.5 years, but we've extended now, we have 2 more sites. I'm talking fast because I'm trying to pack in lots of information, but we have the email address on there. If you know anyone in need, they can email with their details, and there might be a slight wait list, but the team will definitely get back to you. And they also have support with like housing benefits, employment, stuff like that. But yeah, next slide. So our final really massive program is the holiday activities and food program. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of this one. So every holiday period, the summer, Christmas holiday, half-term holidays, we work with lots of voluntary sector organizations, so charity partners that run. So we usually have about 30 different clubs running in the holidays, and we publish it on our website. And so they offer free school meal eligible children, benefits related free school meal children, a free hot meal that day, and nutritional education activities, so they have something as well to do in the holiday. And if anyone knows any organizations that you think would want to get involved and also run this, we have an applications process, so you can email the team if you have any questions, or you can check the link online. And then next slide. And then the final 2 bits I wanted to talk about are 2 tools that I think are really important. So particularly with this one, this is a really short, really easy to use form. So if someone wants to themselves see what support can I get in the borough, they can use this link, worryingaboutmoney.co.uk. They can click through and see what are the actual services available. And then what we've done, we've worked with an organisation to put this into a really easy to read leaflet. And we've got Somali translation, Bengali translation, Urdu translation. I think there might be one more. So if they click on this link, it'll have all the translation on there as well. And this is the most up-to-date, so it'll be organizations that are right now live and able to help. So they can go in, they can get debt advice, they can get food help or advice. So this is really key as well. And then final slide, benefits calculator. So we have this on our cost of living page as well. This one is specifically related to Tower Hamlets. So if a resident goes in, they can quickly fill in their details, and it'll show you immediately what benefits are you eligible for, what can you apply to, and then using that, they can get in touch with our resident outreach team, and they can help them fill out any applications, or if they need to apply to the resident support scheme, they can sit them down and do that with them too. But this is also really useful because it's specifically Tower Hamlets related. The data then goes to the council, so then if there's a follow-up or a query, it's not a generic benefits calculator, the council can be there to support them through the process as well. But yeah, that is my presentation basically. But yeah, so obviously the cost of living crisis is a massive issue, and I'm sure you'll have lots of musallis, lots of residents who are struggling. So it would be really great if we can get some of this information out to them. We did send out some booklets to lots of different mosques. I think we spoke to the Council of Mosques about this. So if we need new batches of cost of living help booklets, we're more than happy as well to talk about that. And we also have the booklet online on the cost of living website in a PDF form. But yeah, that's it. Thank you, everyone.